Pitch Pod. My name is Joe Janner. With me, my co-host, Jeff Stebbins. Jeff, how you been?
I am doing well. Thank you, Joe. It's good to be back here on the Pitch Pod.
And we are looking forward to a English Premier League match, Brighton versus Liverpool this week, and getting into what that looks like moving forward for both teams. I think that it's something that with a Brighton side at 6 versus Liverpool at 4, that they should be a well-contested match. I think it's something that all viewers and supporters of those teams should be looking forward to, and here at the Pitch Pod as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're both in it, and like you said, sitting number 4, number 6, respectively. So both of these teams are looking to continue their solid streak, and who knows, on the back half of the season, maybe they're competing for spots higher up on the board. So we'll see. But yeah, I think it's going to be a well contested and fun match as a viewer to watch.
Right, here we are, match day 8. I mean, Liverpool 16 points, Brighton with 15. Brighton hosts Liverpool. Both teams came off I guess you could probably qualify as disappointing losses, especially for Liverpool in the way that they were unable to beat the Spurs in last week, and in the nature of the contest with some of the even controversial calls, the red cards, and this and that. They did have a successful win in the Europa League Thursday. Here they are, though, in the English Premier League, looking to perform. And I think, really, for them, I mean, we try to shy away from the idea of always making it must-win matches at this point. But I think both are going to be going for it. And I think Liverpool really probably favored in this, even away. But I hadn't seen numbers. Jeff, have you got a chance to look at numbers, see if there's anybody that's particularly favored in this over one or the other?
Yeah, so you're right. Liverpool is favored, even though they are the away team. And I should note, though, that they're favored, but it's only by about a 10% margin. We're looking at 30% Brighton to maybe around 40% Liverpool. So they're favored, but I wouldn't say it's a landslide or dramatically favored. So it's pretty even match going into it. That's how most people are seeing it.
Right. And, Brighton had a bright start to the season, winning consistently, winning by a high margin. And if you look at the table, they had quite a number of goals scored, but also quite a number of goals given up. I wonder if that's going to about. You kind of wonder, is it something they need to be moving away from? Maybe a little bit more control, a little bit more with an understanding of what they need to do and how they can support themselves without exposing themselves to get scored upon as much as they could. I mean, I guess you have to question or ask, is Liverpool anticipating that? Or are they, again, as Liverpool has done well with and been successful, is having their clear identity of what they're going to go about? Where do you see that falling in place? Do you think they're planning to be too open? Is it going to be an open match? Is it going to be quite well contested in the sense of two teams going for it, open, expansive football? Or is it maybe going to get locked down with both overthinking it in the sense of being able to just do what they need to do to win?
Yeah, I think that's a great point. I think that's Brighton's weak spot, right? Right? Is yes, they're scoring goals, but they're also giving up a bunch of goals. And when you face a team like Liverpool, that is their number 4 in the league thus far for a reason. They have some talented, dynamic strikers. They still have Salah on the squad. So, yeah, I think that is going to be a challenge for them. And I think Liverpool is looking stronger overall at the moment. But yeah, I mean, absolutely. Brighton's got to be able to defend and prevent Liverpool from racking up the goals on them if they're going to be in this match.
And you also kind of wonder, it may be a little bit harsh to say that their Brighton's record is a little bit inflated in the sense that they haven't played maybe necessarily the opponents that Liverpool have thus far. I think that's always harsh, and it's maybe not the way to go about looking at in terms of analyzing goal scores versus goals against, but I think there's something to that. So again, I think it will be a test for Brighton in this to see how successful they can be against a top-tier team such as Liverpool. So that's, I think, one of the things I'm looking forward to in this match, to see these two teams, with what they've done thus far, how they then will play each other. I think you mentioned Salah. I think have to. Jeff, what about Nunez? I mean, in terms of his role within the squad, is there something that you would think needs to be commented on, or ideas about where he fits in?
Yeah, I think he's definitely important. but I don't know if it's going to be, and I expect him to play, but I don't know if it's anything that's going to necessarily change the entire game plan, change the outcome entirely. So I think it'll be helpful to have them, but to me, I'm looking at the team as a whole, and I think yes, he'll impact it, but how much so? I don't know if that's going to be such a contributing factor.
I look at it maybe a little bit differently. I think that since he was brought on to Liverpool, I think there's been an expectation. I don't know that he's quite met that. And in this case, where you have an opportunity, again, was in the Europa League match, didn't get to find himself into the side versus Spurs on a couple number of reasons, down to 9 men at one point in time. You can see him there a couple times with camera pan to him sitting on a bench. Probably knew at that point he wasn't going to get to be brought in. But maybe this opportunity starts, and maybe this is a game where he shows up and does. I think really could be a key contributing factor. I think him and his ability to get in front of goal and convert and score, I think that could be definitely a deciding factor in this one, Jeff. So I do look at Nunez in this one as probably a contributing factor to, I mean, without getting too far into the exact scoreline prediction, I do think that lends itself, his performance lends itself, and his ability to score will help Liverpool win.
Yeah, it definitely can't hurt. It can't hurt to have another person that can put the ball away.
And then, I mean, getting into it, I mean, we have a Liverpool side that's now revamped the midfield. You have pretty consistent lineup. Maybe, and I mean, some of the talk is even maybe their goalkeeper, Alisson's probably one of the best, if not in the league at this point in time. So, I mean, you have a quality Liverpool side. I think that probably maybe some of these numbers, some of these key points that we're talking about is why they may be favored in this one, even again on the road away. Any other bits, any other aspects to consider as far as how Liverpool could be successful?
I think you've kind of said it. I think this game is going to boil down to whatever team shows up defensively. And at this point, I think you and I'd probably agree that maybe Liverpool's looking a little bit stronger defensively. So that's kind of where I'm thinking at. That's where my thinking is at the moment. So we'll see how it goes. But overall, when both these teams are in top form, it's hard not to go with Liverpool. But I'm not. But I'll let you go ahead and make your prediction first on this one, Joe.
Sure, sounds good. I think I'd all but said it. Do see Liverpool being successful to win this one. Now, I think really 2 goals necessary. Possibly. I mean, I might even go out and say, like, again, what Brighton's shown as far as the at times to give up goals. I could see Liverpool winning this one by scoring 3. Jeff, I got Liverpool winning 3-1 in this.
Wow. Okay, fair enough. And you know what? You're going with what the majority of people are saying is that this is a Liverpool win. And I kind of just made the case for Liverpool, but I'm going to go in the opposite direction here for a moment. It's a home game. It's Brighton. Fans are showing up. They've had some momentum going their way recently, and they got some guys that can score. You know, JP being one of them, among a couple others that are just going to be threats, especially in their midfield there. So I hope their defense shows up and it's as good of a game as I think it's going to be. But I'm going to go a 1-1 draw in this game. And Liverpool's not winning, but 1-1 draw. And I think that's going to be a fun game to watch.
Yeah, I think whether it goes that route or as I suggested, I think that's why, again, the Pitch Pod's looking at this match as our match of the week preview. Excited to get into it and looking forward to see how this plays out.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Hopefully everyone out there gets a chance to tune in and enjoy the match. And until next time.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. If you like what we bring you here at the Pitch Pod, please do us a favor, hit that like and that subscribe. Don't forget, we're available on Apple Podcasts as well as Spotify. Thank you, everyone, and keep pitching out there.
In a game, the round ball, round posts, anything can happen.